Am I the jerk for not telling my ex-wife I got married again? I 28 was married to my ex-wife for 2 years before we divorced because I realized I was gay. I had been out as bi from age 16 as I knew I liked men but also liked women. However, I realized when I was 24 that I didn't like women. So I told my wife I wanted a divorce but said I was happy to co-parent our 1-year-old. She agreed. We both lived in London until recently I moved to Switzerland to live with my now husband and we got married there. I didn't invite my ex as she had a new boyfriend to me and our little boy don't like, and I knew he would definitely say something homophobic at the wedding. I have complete custody of our son as he wanted to live with me and my ex agreed. Now our son was at the wedding and looked so smart, so I sent photos to my ex and she started messaging me and calling me telling me I am so rude for not inviting her or even telling her, and she wanted our son back with her. I said no and now all her family are messaging me saying I am a jerk and should have told her. If I am or not. Note, the agreement about custody was in court and she knew at the time I had a fiancé, so I don't know what she was expecting to happen in the future. Am I the jerk for refusing to give up my airplane seat to a tall person? Hey everyone, bit of a weird situation and I'm not sure if I am the jerk or not. Happy to have my perspective challenged. Last week I was taking a 12-hour flight that I had booked months in advance. At the time of booking I paid extra to choose my seats. The seat I chose was $55 extra and right at the front of the plane, trying to arrive somewhere on time upon landing. The seat also happened to be an extra legroom seat and I am a 4 feet 11 inches female. I check in, board, sit in my seat as usual, but as soon as the seatbelt sign was switched off I had a man come over and ask to change seats. The first time he asked politely saying that he is 6 feet 4 inches and flying is painful for him, can we please change seats? I was open to it until I saw that his seat was way in the back of the plane, and so I told him no sorry, I paid extra to sit up front. He kind of got increasingly mad and wouldn't leave, saying that there's no reason someone of my height needs extra legroom. I told him I paid to be up front. I suggested that he ask the other people in those seats if they could swap, but he refused, saying that he wouldn't want to bother other men or split up couples. He kept getting rude and angry, so I just called over a flight attendant who told him to go sit down. For the rest of the flight he would walk past for no reason, slamming into me. I was sitting aisle. Was I in the wrong? Should I have swapped with him? Am I the jerk for getting my best friend rejected from his dream internship? I'm going to remain kind of vague on the details here, but I really need to know if I'm the jerk in this situation. So I, 20M, and my best friend 20M, go to the same college. Same degree, same department. Recently he got called in for an interview for what is essentially his dream internship. I was very happy for him, but that's when it all started to go downhill. After scheduling the interview, he pulled me aside, we lived together, and asked me if I could do him a favor. He needed 3 references for the interview and was struggling to find a third. He wanted to put me down as one and wanted to lie, saying I used to be a professor of his. I told him that was a bad idea, as they would probably check this, and he said he highly doubts they will. I told him no, and he seemed shocked and asked me why I wouldn't do it for him. He pointed out that he had done this for me in the past, but I countered by saying it was just some fast food job in the summer. The reason why I was so nervous to do this for him is that the internship is involved with the graduate program we both want to attend, and I am scared that if I get caught impersonating a professor by the people in the department, I can kiss my chances of grad school and possibly even my undergrad degree goodbye. He said I was overreacting and being paranoid. I told him sorry, but I wasn't comfortable doing it. He just said that was really disappointing, and I figured that was the end of it. A week passes, and he says he killed it in the interviews and they loved him. I was happy for him. Then one day I was coming back from the gym and lo and behold, my phone rang. It's one of the people from the department. They wanted me to describe my experience with my previous student and describe what type of person he was. I was honestly caught really off guard and said I think they may have the wrong number, as I'm a student at the university and not a professor. The lady seemed very surprised and apologized before hanging up. When I got home I told my friend about it, asking why he would still put me down as a reference after saying I wasn't comfortable lying for him. When I told him what I said and how I reacted, he just sat on the couch with his head in his hands and said he couldn't believe I wouldn't just say a couple sentences to cover for him. He didn't even get angry, he just seemed distraught. He didn't get the internship and now he won't really talk to me, and it's been very awkward. I hate this. We've been friends for 10+ years. Am I the jerk for waking my wife to throw out a cockroach? I, 27M, have a huge entomophobia because of a stupid joke my sister made when we were kids. I especially hate cockroaches. Sometimes we have cockroaches in our house. We've called exterminators before, but it didn't work very well. At nights when I see a cockroach, I wake up my wife, 29F, because she can easily throw them out. This happened many times. Sometimes it's not a problem, but other times she might complain. I can understand that it's not nice to be woken up at night, but if we don't throw the cockroaches out at night, we have to do it the next night because they never show themselves during the day. Yesterday we had the same thing again, but we also had a fight after she was done because she was really tired, and I think she's really fed up with this. She says I need to get over my phobia. Plus I slept that night and she couldn't sleep again. We had another fight about it in the morning, so I don't know what to do. I can't even go near any insect, and if there's one in the house my wife has to take care of it. There's no other way. Am I the jerk for waking my wife up for this? Am I the jerk for telling my boyfriend that his kids are ugly? My boyfriend has been out of a job due to a court case he is battling against his employer, so no income from his side for 21 months. We don't live together, so I cover his rent, groceries, and other expenses, including the occasional designer Armani or Chanel cologne, and I do it out of genuine love and affection. I recently started a new job that pays salaries at the end of the month, on the last day of the month. He has a bad habit of squandering his grocery money and often ends up running out of food, which his mother then replaces. This month he ran out of groceries the day before the salary was due, and not having any money and working night shift, I couldn't do anything about it and asked him to try to find a way, which I would later remedy. He suddenly told me I am stupid, sheepish, and an unorganized woman who didn't know when she was being paid. He also told me that I failed him, and he was demoting me from wife position, and I would lose all wifely privileges that come with the coveted position. He says I am an ordinary person in his life, and he wants no contact with me, and that he will pay me back once he wins the case with the employer. Fuming, I told him to apologize and humble himself, or he wouldn't be getting any money from me. He said he would rather starve and die. I didn't give him the money, and I don't know how he is eating or surviving. With no phone to contact anyone, he texts me on FB from the computer lab nearby. Am I the jerk? I also told him he doesn't have any balls and his children are ugly, for which I feel no remorse. I wanted to hurt him, and I think I did. Am I the jerk for not wanting to learn French for my girlfriend? My girlfriend is French and she speaks around 8 languages. Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Russian, Italian, English, etc. She moved to Norway to be with me and to study at a school here, but she has little understanding that I find it very challenging and that I'm not very motivated to learn French as it is a very difficult language. I have ADHD and kinda struggle doing things like this consistently as it gives no stimulation studying a foreign language. I have a lot of other stuff going on in my life and I just really don't see it as a priority. She's currently very upset at me for expressing that I tried different apps like Duolingo and such. I did get a 2-week streak on it. But I find it very difficult and I'm not very motivated to learn it. I don't really have much use for it other than speaking to her occasionally. But it'll take years before we'll be able to hold a conversation in it. She is currently trying to learn Norwegian though. I didn't ask her to do this, but she is living in Norway, so it has its purpose in that sense, I guess. Is she asking too much? Am I the jerk for not doing this for her? Am I the jerk for not proposing to my girlfriend at 22 years old? My GF and I have been dating for 4 and some years now, but we started dating senior year of high school. We've been together during college, and now that we are both graduated, we decided to move in together. We've lived together for about 1 month now. During our entire relationship in college she always pressured me into proposing, somewhat of a joke and just to be cute. But now that we live together she's putting a lot of pressure on me to tie the knot. We come from a somewhat rich area where a lot of people get married young, so I think she is seeing a lot of her friends being married on social media and whatnot. Today she and I got into a pretty heated argument about why I haven't proposed and why I think it's too early for us to be married. I've asked her for a while to drop it because I'm not proposing until I 1. Have enough money for a nice wedding, and 2. Until we see every side of each other. Like I said, we've only been living together for 1 month. I just want to know if I'm being too harsh by telling her I don't want to be married for another year at least. I feel like 22, I just too young since we both went to college.